let's really go ahead and talk about this. Vikings fans, you're probably seeing this, and you're thinking one of two things. Either one, you are ecstatic, you agree 100%. You want Kyler Murray in Minnesota because you're sick and tired of J.J. McCarthy. The other half and the latter is that you want J.J. McCarthy. You don't want to give up. It's year one. This seems a little extreme. Now, I also think the New York Jets are in play. But the Vikings have resurfaced, and they have been a team that has been linked to Kyler. Same with the Jets, but the Vikings just make that much more sense to me. So you guys let me know down in the comment section below. But I saw this graphic, and I was absolutely sick. I don't want J.J. McCarthy in Arizona, but that might be the reality we got to face. So, yeah, I saw this graphic. I was not a big fan, but wipe that away. Let's go ahead and talk about this. I think it's very interesting. So, Vikings fans, I don't know how you guys stand with J.J. McCarthy, but me personally, I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I didn't think he was that good of a quarterback coming out of Michigan. Just didn't see the traits. I really didn't understand why you guys took him. He doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have anything that just draws you to be an NFL quarterback. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but hey, everybody saw him kind of just hand the ball off and was saying he was an elite prospect. People were saying he was a first-round pick. I kind of laughed at that, and the Vikings did what the Vikings did. It's in the past. We took Josh Rosen, so I can't really talk a bunch of crap. In his last three, he's kind of getting dog-walked versus the Ravens, 47.6 completion percent. You have the Bears, 50 completion percent, and then Packers, just the last game, he had 2 interceptions, 87 yards and 63. He's thrown 6 interceptions in these last 3. And on the season, 6 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. He has 929 yards. It's not a good year for him. It's just flat out not a good year for him. Under 1,000, hasn't played every game, has dealt with injury in the past 2 seasons that he's been here. And I'm assuming Vikings fans are willing to give up after seeing him play for 1 year. I think you guys have seen enough, and you have the whole 9 persona. It's just a lot going on. That would probably drive me insane if I'm a Vikings fan. J.J. McCarthy, for me, just isn't doing it. You guys let me know how you guys stand with JJ, but my personal takeaway is I didn't think he was an elite prospect coming out of college, and now that I'm seeing him in the NFL, he learned for a year, sat, didn't play, he was hurt, and then in year 2, we actually got some action, and Justin Jefferson is slamming his helmet at this point. Like, Justin Jefferson is losing his mind playing with J.J. McCarthy. There's no stability. You don't want to lose J.J. That is one of the best receivers. I still think the best wide receiver in the NFL. JSN's putting up a ridiculous year. You have Jamar Chase as well, who's also a ridiculous talent. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, you have talented receivers, but Justin Jefferson is one of the best. And with Kevin O'Connell, I think he is willing to give up on J.J. McCarthy after 1 year because the Vikings are structured to win now. They went out, bolstered up the O-line, bolstered up the defense. They bolstered up everything in hopes that they can contend in J.J. McCarthy. Because when you have a young quarterback who's on a QB-friendly deal, or just a friendly deal in general, and you're not paying him $40, $50, $60 million, which is what Kyler's making, you go all in. And the Vikings, they did that. And the unfortunate part is it's just not panning out right now. Just flat out not panning. You got to pivot to Kyler Murray, the whole topic and trending position of this video. Do you go trade out for a guy who has 2 years left on his contract and a club option in 2028? He's making a good amount of money. He has a $53 million cap hit next year. It's not that friendly. The Cardinals will probably have to eat that, especially if they want a higher draft pick. And if the Vikings go out and they want to make this move, they're going to have to eat that, take on some salary, probably like $30 million. And Kyler's going to be their guy. I still think Kyler is a very valuable asset. I've seen some rumors that he might get cut. Like, that would just be so stupid by the Cardinals. There's value here. And a lot of Vikings fans are also 50-50. They kind of want Kyler. They kind of don't, but you know how that goes. You got this right here. It's short king season. Vikings fans are kind of split on this thing, but this is in regards to Mac Jones, who might be a little bit better of a scheme fit. But they want Kyler, and this is not the only thing. And this one's a little bit of mixed signals. We love mixed signals, but you see the engagement. 2.3 thousand likes. Got some engagement here. So, yeah, Kyler Murray to Minnesota has some serious traction. Now, is this realistic traction for the front office? Are they willing to eat that? Are they willing to give up the capital it would take to get that? I would assume it'd be nothing less than a second, especially if the Cardinals are willing to eat the money. If the Cardinals are willing to eat some money, you got to give us a better pick, and that is just flat out what it is. Kyler Murray, talent-wise, is levels ahead of J.J. McCarthy. He has never had a season, I believe, where he has had more interceptions than touchdowns. Cardinals fans are a little bit delusional. They kind of hate the guy. They want him out. So my thing is, if you're going to push him out, you might as well go capitalize on some value. And there's no better time for Kyler Murray to have value than when he's like 28 years old, still has legs, still has mobility, still has arm strength. And a player like him at 5'10", You need that mobility to make him an elite prospect. Now, Kevin O'Connell unlocks the best at a quarterback. JJ McCarthy, it's still very young. Maybe you rock him, but I think Kyler is a way better fit. And if you are win now in a division that is tough, Chicago got better. They bolstered the offensive line. They are a threat for multiple years. Ben Johnson has that team running, and he's a Dan Campbell disciple. That is a guy who you will run through a brick wall for. They are going to only get better. Caleb Williams is going to only get better. And if you have no quarterback in that division who is Jared Goff, Jordan Love, and Caleb Williams, you're going to fall behind. In Minnesota, after going all in, it's probably not the smartest thing for them to do. So going out and trading for Kyler Murray makes a ton of sense, regardless of how you feel about it. So Vikings fans, you let me know. But Cardinals fans, we got to have a discussion now. Because this is a guy where if you are willing to pivot in 2026, we have the quarterback route. Where do we go? What are we willing to accept in a Kyler Murray trade? Because I think the Jets are in play too. They traded Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams to go reset, but I don't know if they're going to go get a 28-year-old quarterback. I don't know if they would go that route, but I think it's very realistic because they are in the market. That was the rumor that came out. Benjamin Albright does expect Kyler Murray to be traded and gone in 2026. And after the Cardinals come out here and Jonathan Gannon flat out says Kyler's not coming back, the 21-day window is not getting open, he's basically gone. So what are we taking in a trade? I'm willing to eat a lot of that cap for the first year. I'm willing to eat up to $30 million in cap, to be honest. I will take that on. You guys pay him 23. Flat out, I will take that if we can get a first-round pick. If we can get a first-round pick, I would eat $40 million. I think Kyler Murray still has value. I think he is going to thrive elsewhere. I think it is going to sicken Cardinals fans. A lot of people think I am just some Kyler meat rider, but at the end of the day, I believe in talent. If I see talent on the field, if I see a player that I think can win you football games, of course I want him in Arizona. I think Kyler can win us games in Arizona. Now, if he doesn't, you can hit the hay. My opinion's not going to change there. I have no ties to Kyler, but he is a player that can win you games in the NFL. Now, consistency is where he struggles. If you can get him to play consistent quarterback play, which Kevin O'Connell can probably unlock the best out of him, and if you can surround Kyler with a team that has a good, strong interior line and actually doesn't collapse in less than 3 seconds, he's probably going to have a MVP caliber season. I don't think that's too crazy, or at least a top 10 quarterback season. I think he's going to be steady, which is something Minnesota does not have right now. They haven't had that since Kirk Cousins, and that was just a couple years ago. Justin Jefferson loved his life when he was playing because he was getting fed. They were winning games sometimes, but they were at least competitive. Now they're not even competitive right now. They're struggling. They're 4th in the NFC North, and they're just falling way behind. The season's chalked, and you got to get rid of JJ McCarthy. That's my opinion. Cardinals fans, let me know what you guys want in a trade package for Kyler. Vikings, Jets fans, if you're a fan of another team, what would you be willing to give up for Kyler? And if you're just a neutral fan, what do you think Kyler's value around the league is? Because it is so hit or miss. People are saying he's going to get cut. People are saying he's going for a 4th. Some people said there's no way he doesn't get traded for a 1st or a 2nd. I'm very curious. I think a 1st and a 2nd is very realistic. The Cardinals kind of fumbled the way they played this out, but value is still value. So shut them down for the rest of the year and then evaluate in the offseason. Cardinals, I don't know what we're doing for quarterback, to be honest, but we'll figure that out. That is a topic for another day. But you guys let me know if you want Kyler to go to Minnesota. So with that being said, that is going to wrap it up. If you guys ended up enjoying, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL content. If you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. We're on the road to 10K. Hit subscribe. Arizona Cardinals NFL content also posts on Bleacher Report. Mythic AZYT made a video about this as well. Go check that out. But with that being said, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.